Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of IPC's Vendor Advantage Network monthly spotlight videos. My name is Shannon Battle. I'm the Pharmacy Services Manager here at Independent Pharmacy Cooperative, and today I am happy to announce a new preferred vendor in our network. I have Hayden Goldman here with Olympia Pharmaceuticals, and I'm sure many of you have seen this on your news feeds lately with all the interest in sterile compounding, expansions in, your pharmacy offerings. And since GLP-1s have basically tanked for most of us, we're all scrambling for something new. So we want to make sure that you guys have that option. Hayden, thank you for being here, for giving our members a bit of your time, and really looking forward to the insights that you have to offer here.
Absolutely, Shannon.
Can you tell us a bit about Olympia's background and kind of where you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Olympia Pharmacy, we've been a 503B outsourcing facility since I think 2014, officially registered. We do have a 503A facility, which also dispenses direct to patients. As you see here, licensed in 48 of the 50 states. By end of year, it is our goal to have all 50 states under our umbrella, which is a huge undertaking, as many know. I think California is the top of the list, and then to follow likely Mississippi. Now, product offerings, just broad overview, really started on sexual health. We'll say, a lot of sterile ED injections. It's really catching a lot of traction. As you had mentioned, GLPs have fallen off. Well, we're seeing a lot of telemedicine practices kind of veer into different, I would say, areas of treatment, this being definitely one of them. Weight management, unfortunately, yes, semaglutide, tirzepatide, not available to be produced or distributed from a 503B, but there are still some options out there. We'll kind of get into it in a later slide. But yeah, we've been doing it a while, and we are good at it, and definitely excited to bring on some more pharmacies, because 503B to A outsourcing is something that I would say we've been doing since the beginning of time, per se, since that guidance came out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, definitely let's look at some of these product offerings that you guys have here. What can our stores really get into, and what kind of support can you provide on those?
Yeah, absolutely. So NAD is a huge one that we have seen just kind of take off, I would say, from a telemedicine aspect. And I bring up telemedicine because the dynamic between telemedicine's 503A facilities or pharmacies that dispense direct to patient and 503Bs together, it is quite impressive. So you'll hear me reference telemedicine a time or
Yeah.
two. It definitely goes hand in hand. So NAD is one that we're seeing a lot of interest across the board on. Weight loss options. As Shannon, you mentioned, GLP-1s, kind of thing of the past for compounding pharmacies. Well, liraglutide is coming. It is a GLP-1. It was the first ever approved GLP-1 by the FDA. So we're really excited to launch that, coming out June 11th. We'll have two different formulas there. Lipotropics, those are always a good option. They were very popular, I'd say, before the GLP-1 craze. But again, great option. And I've even seen it used and supplement to GLP-1 regimens. So
Right.
I would definitely speak to providers about that. Amino acids, we that is definitely great, especially when we talk weight loss. ED injections, already spoke to that as well. Vein care, we do have STS. We're working on some polydocanol. Do have that in R&D, working on some formulas there as well.
Awesome. Well,
Yep, and
pharmacy services team here, I was just going to say, you guys have a ton of support and resources
mhm.
available. If any stores are needing additional, resources and support, and really just kind of that guidance and what might work in their area, you guys are absolutely welcome to reach out to our pharmacy services team as well, and we can do consults on this end to help out too.
Yeah, and I completely forgot to mention, yeah, we have an in-house pharmacist team. It's built out of about 6 different pharmacists. They man the phones. They have an email that you can reach out to, and they're willing to jump in, help with any kind of dosing questions or product-specific questions as well.
I love that it's pharmacists, that are answering these, and
Yeah.
not just the customer service that usually will have to pass that question on, or,
hmm
and then you have to wait for responses. So it's good to have that clinical knowledge right there when you need it as well.
No doubt, it's rather uncommon, I'd say.
It is. All right. Well, vetting quality companies is not something that's easy for our pharmacists to do with a little bit of time they have, and especially for outsourcing. So, why Olympia? Why should they choose Olympia?
So something that our, I would say, entire organization says, even those on the sales team will mention, we all work for quality here. So quality is one of the, if not, it is the most important aspect of our overall operations. We take it very seriously. We do utilize a third-party lab. So every product that we actually batch, dispense, it has been tested and vetted by a third-party lab to ensure that we're meeting the requirements set out by CGMP standards, as well as the standards the FDA has set forth for us prior to actually releasing that product. Olympia Pharmacy, we are a family-owned company, which is phenomenal. It is pharmacy-owned and managed. Our entire C-suite, I would say, they make up close to, if not surpassing the 100-year mark in just experience. So that is phenomenal. One thing we also pride ourselves on here at Olympia is our turnaround time. So, our responsiveness, turnaround time for getting orders, I would say is bar none, top of the top. I think that really allows us to separate ourselves from a lot of other 503Bs in the space. With GLP-1, so on and so forth, a lot of pharmacies across the board were dealing with turnaround time issues. That was something that, we hold near and dear and really try to uphold the standards that we have for that next business day shipping.
Oh yeah, that keeps the patients coming back if they know they can trust, their orders are going to come in pretty fairly quickly.
No doubt. No doubt about it.
See.
So we'll continue on. We are legit script certified. As I'd mentioned, telemedicines previously. This is a big thing that they are looking for as well, ensuring that they're working with legit script certified facilities. So we did that is just another notch, I would say, in the belt there. As I had mentioned, we do have that in-house clinical pharmacy team. They are phenomenal, made up of 6 pharmacists willing to step in, answer questions along the way. Customer support, we have a ton of it. We have a customer service team. Anybody that signs up with us will have a dedicated rep. So that rep should be able to answer any questions that our customer service team should be able to answer, right? So you have those 2 teams at your disposal, every step of the way helping you out. Regulatory standards and compliance, I would say the next 2 bullets go hand in hand. Our director of regulatory affairs, he was the assistant director, he was the assistant to the Florida, holy mackerel, Attorney General. Jeez Louise. So he has a ton of experience in that realm, and we're always out in the field, getting our name out there, ensuring that those on regulatory boards know that, Olympia is the gold standard, right? But we do follow regulatory, standards across the board very strictly, and we do not waver. I think that plays along or goes hand in hand with quality, right? Everyone works for quality, but we are also on the lookout to ensure we're, meeting regulatory requirements every day.
Yeah. That's the hardest part of vetting is knowing, if any of the companies are really following all of these
Yeah.
guidelines, all the compliance, issues,
Mhm.
things of that sort. So it's really good to hear how strong of an effort you guys have in that.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, IPC members, both our GPO and warehouse members are going to have access to a rather large discounted formulary. The pricing do start at a 25% discount, and they include their liraglutide, like you said, Hayden,
Yes.
with a much deeper discount. So really looking forward to all the, new formulations and the things you guys have to offer. Can you kind of explain, discounts and why they're so important and what you guys can offer?
Yeah. So Olympia Pharmacy, transparently, we aren't out there to be the cheapest. That's not our game, right? We are
Yeah.
going to vet all of our API suppliers to the highest degree, ensuring that, we're getting quality product to then, dispense. So you aren't necessarily going to get the cheapest price when you come to Olympia, but at the end of the day, you can ensure that you are getting a quality product. Now, with that in mind, we are very conservative in our discounts because we know what we're dispensing is quality, right? So 25%, and that would really be an individual that is ordering upwards of 1,000 vials a month. We would probably extend such a discount to, but with a member like IPCRX, we were more than happy to go to that degree when discounting those products.
Absolutely. You guys
Yes,
are, like it says, a huge advocate in this
no
space. So
doubt.
someone that's just familiar and understands, the need for this pricing, the need to have something that's valuable for independent pharmacies. Excuse me. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, no
So you
doubt.
guys, you have a new facility, right? What's going
Oh,
on with that?
we do have a new facility. So, Wesley Pharmaceuticals, we actually just opened that up, had our grand opening in May. So, we're currently working on licensure, hopefully to have, I would say, at least I would say 10 to 20 states lined up by the end of the year. I think in 2026, we'll start gaining a little more traction in terms of licensure. But as I'd mentioned, 503B to A outsourcing is the name of the game. And when opening Wesley Pharmaceuticals, it's really designed for high volume manufacturing, right? So currently today with Olympia Pharmacy, we are doing about 150,000 vials a week. That's about our max output, which isn't too shabby, I would say. But with the addition of Wesley Pharmaceuticals, we will be able to get somewhere near the 450 vial mark per week. So how do you offload 450,000 vials, right, that are being produced in a single week? Name of the
Yeah.
game is 503B to A outsourcing. It is no doubt changed the dynamic and the way we look at some of our partners. And I would say pharmacies are our utmost priority, no doubt.
Absolutely. Well, that's reassuring. Our stores don't have to worry about if the order is coming or not. You guys have plenty to offload on us.
No doubt, no doubt about it.
Well, if anyone here watching has any specific questions that you'd like answered or really would like to just go ahead and create an account right away, get started exploring, there is a QR code here that's going to take you to IPC's dedicated webpage for Olympia Pharmaceuticals. There's 5 or 6 questions on there. We want to make sure we get your primary point of contact, whether that's a tech, a lead pharmacist, even front store, who's going to be the one to make these decisions, that Olympia reps can talk to and make sure that we get you moving quickly. I'll also get a copy of this, so we'll make sure to keep you guys on track, and reach out as soon as possible. Hayden, it's been a pleasure as always, and I hope everyone has a fabulous week. Thank you again, and we'll definitely do this again.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks, Hayden. Bye.
Bye.